of studio-based research and practical-based research, innovation is derived from methods that cannot always be predetermined, and outcomes of artistic research are necessarily unpredictable. So I invite you today to see what we're going to be offered, and then later we'll see what unpredictability comes out of this as they complete their research. I would like to introduce some of my colleagues. We've got Sibo Kukle, we've got Ray, we've got Nomfundo, we've got Dr. DC,
Decolonize,
we've got Nsiki, we've got Antoine,
Trauma-informed bodies.
we've got Lisa,
Radio drama, woohoo!
we've got Josejo,
Trickster.
we've got Tekshania,
Protest!
and I think that's all that we have today. Let the quick fires begin. Minus points.
Hello everyone, my name is Ramza and welcome to my dwelling, a house that is flowing endlessly with warmth and love, where the strength and resilience of bravery of women prevails. Because the majority of men of our land dodge the duties because they lack the ability to comprehend the power of love. For love requires sacrifice, commitment, and willingness to put others before oneself. And those who fail to love leave a trail of broken hearts. Today, I'll be sharing my research with you, which my title is Perpetuating the Emotional Growth Web, a study of how puppetry can be used to explore the impact of absent fathers on their daughters. South Africa has been reported to have among the highest prevalence of absent fathers in Africa. According to the study of South African Institute of Race Relations that was done in 2007, approximately 27% of children in South Africa grow up in a household without a father. This figure being the highest among African children. Another study published in 2019 reported that father absence was more prevalent among Black families. Father absenteeism have been labeled as one of the main causes that put family life in jeopardy. This phenomenon is on the increase in South African context and has generated problems such as broken families, aggressive behavior among children, financial and social problems. Growing up without a father can have significant impact among young girls' lives. As a young Black South African woman who grew up without a father, I've experienced this firsthand. Growing up, I have always longed for a father figure in my life, even though I was raised by a supportive and loving mother. One of the impacts that I've noticed for myself is the fear of being rejected, which greatly impacted my self-confidence. Another impact that I have seen in myself is the fear of trusting, or the struggle of trusting others, especially males, because this has also impacted my perspectives of relationships. I find myself pushing people away before relationships even form, because I fear that they might reject me like my father. Moreover, growing up without a father has caused me to have negative biases towards men. I grew up believing that men are incapable of loving. Even today, I find myself criticizing and blaming men in many social situations. My research questions are the following. In what ways can puppetry be used as a tool to address the issue of absent fathers in their daughters' lives? As a DT tool, how can puppetry be used as a tool that explore the issues such as the absence of the issue of absence of fathers? My aim is to bring awareness to daughters about the impact of absent fathers for them, and to understand the challenges and negative consequences that this phenomenon might have on them. And my objective is, I hope to help to break the cycle of absent fathers by creating awareness. The theories that I've used include the work of Peter Slade, projected play, and Phil Jones, interactive audience and witnessing, and Michael White, the narrative approach. My overarching method is practice as research, which is an approach that emphasizes the role of practice in generating knowledge and insight. And my method is narrative inquiry, which seeks to understand and interpret stories or narratives that individuals use to make sense of their experiences. It involves collecting and analyzing stories such as witnessing in order to identify themselves and patterns. And insight that can help inform and enrich our knowledge about human behavior and experiences. My tool for collecting data is puppetry. I chose this tool because it can be a fun way of engaging and can help individuals to open and communicate about sensitive or difficult topics. It provides a creative outlet. It can be an expressive outlet for sharing experiences and perspectives. And they will also help individuals share emotions that might be difficult to put in words. Puppet can generate rich data that can help deepen the understanding of complex topics such as this one. Thank you for your time.
And when you tell your stories, you get to express yourself, and then everyone else, they get to hear your stories, and you get validated. Can you repeat that? That sounds kind of confusing. And you kind of spoke a bit fast. Well, you see, my method isn't perfect yet, but, well, I know that stories help. What do other people have to say? These are the scholars, but I see over here this beautiful tower.
Long, long ago, so long in fact that it doesn't matter when, there lived a little frog. Hello! And the frog went on a journey. You see, this frog had grown up, and as it grew, it had changed, and it decided it was going to go on a queer journey. This very strange journey, well, it had a name. It was called Queering Drama Therapy, analyzing drama therapy methods, usability for exploring gender expression. And you see, this journey of this little frog was to answer the question. Answer the question, you see, he was very curious, this frog. He was going to ask the question, can drama therapy methods assist gender diverse and transgender people in exploring their gender expression? And his second question was, how effective can drama therapy methods be for exploring gender expression in South African context? But why? why go on a journey? So tell me, why? Well, you see, I know, and so do other people, the scholars on the internet. You see, they tell me that transgender people and gender diverse people, they suffer both transphobia and mental health challenges. And, well, they really need something to do about it. And what do you suppose? I think drama therapy. I think that drama therapy, because it's a strength-based approach, can help transgender people in exploring their gender, which they don't get to do in society because, well, they're discriminated against and it's not safe. So maybe drama therapy can be that safe space. And that's what I'm going to explore. Can it be safe? Can it be effective? And can they engage? Well, before we set on a journey, we came across all of these scholars. Let me tell you something. I proposed a model in 2008. My name is Silverstone. I know, can't you see? And the thing is that there was this other dude, Aaron. You see, he's over here. And Aaron said that transgender identities follow this very similar pattern. So then I thought, well, I'll make a model using Phil Jones. You know Phil Jones, right? He's a super cool drama therapist. And he had these 9 core principles. So I took the 9 core principles, I took the other duty's method of gender identity, and I mushed them together. But I haven't actually done it in practice. But those are my ideas. Oh, I have another cool thing. It's embodiment. My name's Wilson, and I wrote this in 2011, and embodiment is super, super cool because transgender people often struggle with their bodies, so this can be a way that, like, they can explore themselves, but it can be kind of challenging, so I'm not really sure what to do about that. Ooh, I got another idea. You see, my idea, I'm queer, and the thing is that there's something called narrow drama, and it's when you, like, tell your stories, and when you tell your stories, you get to express yourself, and then everyone else, they get to hear your stories, and you get validated. Can you repeat that? That sounds kind of confusing, and you kind of spoke a bit fast. Well, you see, my method isn't perfect yet, but, well, I know that stories help. What do other people have to say? These are the scholars, but I see over here this beautiful tower. See, my name's Michael Foucault, and long ago, I decided that fuck structuralism, and I don't think knowledge exists purely always forever. In fact, I think knowledge is only in the historical and cultural context that it is from. And my name's John Money, and I'm not the best of duties, but I said that gender was different to sex. And I'm Ben, Sandra Ben, and I said, hang on, gender isn't just feminine and masculine, it can be both, or neither. You can be androgynous. And I am Judith Butler. I came up, well, I didn't coin it myself, but everyone says I came up with it. Queer theory. Ooh, tell me more. This sounds like what I need. Well, you see, queer theory says that gender is a performance. Really? Yes. That means you're not your gender, but your actions are. And your actions determine your gender. If that's true, then that means drama therapy can be a space for you to explore the doing of your gender. Exactly. That's my whole theory of gender performativity. Gender is doing. That means it's flexible, right? Yeah, you're getting it. Which means perhaps in drama therapy, we can be flexible and change our expression. Yeah. You'll have to figure that out on your own. And so Froggy got onto a boat, and there was another boat right next to it. You see, this boat over here, this was PAR, and this boat was also PAR. This boat was practices research, and this one was participatory action research. This one had all the tools to go into the community and do the embodied research. And this one had a collection of 10 little caterpillars. And these 10 little caterpillars wanted to be butterflies. But they needed some help in doing that. But it was only through the researcher, the froggy, and the caterpillars together could they go on their journey to discover if drama therapy really could help. I feel like I've skipped a slide.
Yeah.
So, how were they going to do that? That was the big question. Well, the first thing that they had in the boat was the body map. So Froggy drew his body map. And in this body map, he put their expression and their hardships and their joy and their masculinity and their femininity and ta-da! I expressed my gender. And then they sailed on and they found this beautiful storybook. Wow! And this storybook gave them the ability to play with cloth. And from here, they got to explore what it was like to move in a distance way. That's what Phil Jones, that duty from earlier, said. And through that, he put all the cloth together into a bag, as the story says, shook it all up, and outside flew butterflies! Amazing! That's what all the caterpillars want to be. So, what's next? Well, we're going to make puppets. What's that? That's for another time. So, puppets, they got all these puppets together that all the caterpillars decorated and made themselves into how they wished they would be one day. And through making their puppets, they kind of figured that out. And then they did a very funny thing. They paired up, as you can see, they're busy pairing up, and they went on speed dates. And these speed dates was so that they could talk to each other and figure out, hey, do I like these pronouns? Or do I want to change them? Do I like this name? Or do I want to change them? And so together, they played and played and played and played and played. Finally, they got together and they made images. And these images they made with their bodies to further try and express their bodies. And then, lastly, at the end of the journey, they all got together and sat in a circle and spoke. So, what was that like? Well, I'm not quite sure the answer yet because I haven't done it yet. But that's what I'm proposing to do. Thank you. Overpaid and understaffed. Hi, I'm a healthcare worker. My name is Antoinette Atlan. Now, I am in a trauma-informed space and in a severe trauma-informed body. So you see, I have no way to express myself. Because I work in this healthcare space, I have to take care of other people. So that means I need to put my self-care and my creative expression aside, meaning it's lost. And whoever cares about me? No one. Do I care for myself? No. Because why? I have to constantly take care of other people. So then I was thinking and talking about this idea that came to me of this thing called drama therapy. And I was like, okay, now what is drama therapy? Drama therapy is a form of psychotherapy that is make use of embodiment and creative expression. So then I thought of this idea, okay, me as the healthcare worker, how am I able to creatively express myself? And then then I thought further. And I was speaking to some of my healthcare workers that knows a drama therapist. And she was like, okay, there's something called the 9 core principles. Now, the 9 core principles was created by this guy called Phil Jones. He was another drama therapist. So I'm looking at the efficacy of drama therapy's 9 core principles for healthcare workers in the South African context to find holistic creative expression and self-care. So I came to myself and asked these questions. How in the world is the 9 core principles going to be effective in the hospital space and for me as a healthcare worker? Where on earth does drama therapy fit into the hospital space, especially in the South African context? And also, will it actually work? Will this method work for the healthcare workers to holistically express themselves? So, with those questions and those aims, that is exactly what I'm aiming, is to see whether this method is working or whether this method is not working. Because I seriously need some self-care. So, I was going back and thinking about this idea of drama therapy. And I was talking to some scholars of mine, especially ones that know about drama therapy. So, the first one I was looking was at self-care, because I don't know what self-care is, right? And there was this guy called Durham and another guy called Kelmanson. Now, they were saying that self-care is the last thing that healthcare workers think of, because we constantly need to keep on going. So it means we do not think of ourselves, we do not think of our body, and we do not think of ourselves in this body, because constantly we are facing trauma. Then I was looking at the South African context and the hospitals in the South African context. And this scholar of mine, his name is Mason, and she said that South African hospitals seriously needs drama therapy, because we need to express it within our body. And this is where the 9 core principles come in. And I was talking to a scholar called Jacobson. Now, he made use of embodiment, which I don't really know how to do, but I'm a bit stiff, but we'll get there. And they also made use of something called play. I still don't know what play is. So as I was talking about these different 9 core principles, Mason also said that the drama therapy and the 9 core principles is severely stigmatized. Because me as the healthcare worker, I was like, what? Drama therapy? Please. It's drama. It's acting on a stage, right? No. It has a therapeutic value. And that is why I was thinking of using the drama therapy and the 9 core principles, so that there's a therapeutic value and we can creatively express ourselves. So then I went back, and as I was talking to these scholars, I was thinking, okay, great, we have scholars, okay? Now we need theory. How do we do this theory? Now first we're using the theory of drama therapy itself, which was created by Peter Slade. So drama was used in the 18th century, which I didn't know, in hospitals, in psychiatric hospitals. They were using drama and theatre for these patients to express. Then, after that, we get the 9 core principles. The theory was created, or the processes was created by Phil Jones. And he has 9 core processes. First one is play, then embodiment, then we have interactive audience and witnessing, we have dramatic projection, we have drama therapeutic, empathy and distancing, and there's a few more. So then I was thinking, okay, now we have this 2 theories, but how is it going to be backed? Now I'm using 2 other theories. It's the humanistic theory, and I'm also using the self-actualization theory. Because through the humanistic theory, I'm able to identify me as a human, and where I need to be, and what my basic needs is as the healthcare worker. and within the self-actualization theory, I'm able to make peace and understand my emotions and feelings that I am in this trauma-informed body. So, what is going to happen then? So, what is going to happen is I'm going to make use of PAR. PAR is practice as research. So, we're taking it into the space, into the healthcare workers, by using participatory action research, where I'm using the researcher, which will be the trauma therapist, and I will be using the community, so that we can find a common understanding of the world that we are in. And by this, I will make use of only 5 different 9 core processes, which will be embodiment, because they are stuck in their trauma-informed bodies. Play, because play is the only way we can creatively express ourselves. Dramatic projection, to find a new language to express ourselves without using words. And drama therapeutic, empathy, and distance. Another way of expressing ourselves without actually saying it. Then the last thing that was going to happen, I think this is the most exciting, is interactive audience and witnessing, including them, finding a way of performing so they can understand themselves within these bodies and within this space. But I think my time is up and I have another round. I have to go back to my patients. Bye.
At least you're the best.
So tired, come on.
That says a rest like me.
Thank you. So, it's actually, I'm called the trickster. Let's not get it twisted. I am the trickster in the ministry. But before we start, I wanted to play a game. And in this game, I'm going to give you rules on how this game is played, okay? As a trickster, you need to know how you play the game. You need to know to manipulate the game. You need to know the codes, you must know it. So, I'm going to need 7 players, 7 players, okay. Please remember your number, It's a game. You need to know. You need to know the rules.
Don't look stupid.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Player
Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. Player 4. Please remember, okay? I can't do it for you. Player what? 4. Player 4. Player 5. Player 6. Just need one more. Player 7. Okay, my players, I need you to show the spectators how this game is going to be done. You must listen very carefully, okay? So, in this game, this is what it's called. The trickster in the ministry, okay? Trickster in the ministry, we are looking at using the Joker method in exploring the positionality of pastor's wife in Pentecostal charismatic churches. Player 1, are you listening? These are the rules of the game. You are called the one who looks at the concept, the background, okay? And you need to know something about the pastor's wives, right? Is that when they become the pastor's wife, there's a shift, a transformation that happens within their conduct, within their body, right? And you're holding a card that says king. That when they get married to that king, the husband, there's a shift and transformation in their behavioral patterns. And I ask myself, why? Ask myself, why does that shift have to happen? Now, when I read a blog, it says that the role of the pastor's wife is the one who has to follow the vision of the husband. So inevitably, if she's the pastor's wife, then she has to submit. Because as the word says in Ephesians 5:22 to 24, that the woman should abide by the husband's leading. Right? So there's a common thread around the pastor's wife who are told to submit, told to pursue the vision of the husband. They're told that their job is to make sure that they carry the vision, they hold the burdens, they're responsible for it. But I need player 2. Player 2, where are you? You're awake, player 2, then? Listening. This is the next room, right? So player 2, it says that what I'm finding is is that there's a lack of transparency. Are you getting me? Is that all they speak about is having to submit, having to abide. But there's a lack of transparency in their true identity. Who is the pastor's wife? There's a lack of agency. There's a lack of expression, creative expression. There's a lack of expression of the burdens, the responsibilities, the feelings that they have towards having to hold this positionality. So these are the things I really want to find out. These are the missing gaps I'm trying to find out player 2. And I need you to assist me in that how do we fill in the gaps of the lack of agency, the lack of transparency in their true identity. But this is how we're going to do it. The trickster, I'm here. The trickster is there to basically expose and dismantle the hierarchical status quo, right? That's what we're about. That's what the Joker focuses on, the pedagogy of the human experience. That it's there as a carer and is coming in as a carer. It also comes in to inquire about the human experiences of the positionality of the pastor's wife. Player 3, you're awake. Are you awake, please?
Yes.
Please be awake. Thank you.
I'm here.
All right. And these are some of the questions I want you and I to ask ourselves, okay? In what way can the Joker method in forum theatre be employed to explore the positionality of the pastor's wife in Pentecostal charismatic churches? And another question I want to look at is, how does the Joker facilitate in shifting the meaning making of the woman's participation in the charismatic churches? How can we use me, the trickster, okay, the trickster of the game, to facilitate new meaning with the woman? How does the facilitation of meaning making happen through my role? Did you catch that?
Got it.
Right. Player what? Player what? Where are we now?
4.
Player 4. Yes, player 4. Player 4.
It's not me.
Player 4. Player 4.
The voice is too low.
Player
I thought
4.
it was coming from there.
It's a game. We need to understand.
You must trick me into
I will take you.
Right.
This is how it's going to happen. So, player 4, I need you to remember the whole aim of why we're doing this. It's all about investigating the practice of us, the Jokers, to explore the influence of the church doctrine on the woman, on the charismatic churches. Nah? We need to observe the performativity, our performativity, and the critical thinker encompassed in the Joker. That's our objective. But our main aim, we're coming in there to investigate as the Joker. And the role of the Joker should also be unpacked. And what kind of a Joker, what kind of a trickster are you in this exploration through the positionality of the pastor's wives? You got it, man? Thank you. Player 5. Okay, player 5. This is your room, man. So, when we look at the Joker's role, they're there to just disturb the hierarchy of oppressive natures, oppressive systematic things that have been put in place. That's why we're there. We're there to create a dialogue on oppression, right? But there's another scholar, should I say theorist, Hooks, and she speaks about the intersectionality that happens in oppressive behaviors. That oppression happens, it's a hybrid interdisciplinary type of oppression. That it doesn't happen on just one level. It happens through race, sex, culture. You can't look at it one way. Now, what becomes very interesting for you and I is that when we look at the positionality of the pastor's wife is that they're black, female, religious. Now, what kind of oppression would that bring? With the religion, which is the faith, with the sex, and with the color. We need to start thinking about that. So that's what Hooks is basically make us think about, right? And then there's another friend that we have. And this friend of ours is Paul Freire, right? And he basically looks at the pedagogy of the oppressed. And he says that, yes, you might be in an oppressive state, but don't take the image of the oppressor. Don't dehumanize the oppressor in order to get the liberation. This is how you go about it in a positive way. So he brings in the positive methods and how to get the process of liberation. Now that's how we tie in with the Joker, because the Joker is there to be the agent of change, the positive change, not dehumanizing it. Right, you got that? Yeah. When I come back to you, player. Okay, who's my last player? Yes, my last player. Yeah, wait. This is a big one. Here. Okay, right. And this is our overall design of how we're gonna conduct all of this. This is how the game is gonna pan out. We're gonna use practice as research. Now you're probably wondering, what is practice as research? Practice as research is when basically the practice is the form of inquiry. Meaning that within the arts, it's the creative writing. It's the performance. You saw our performances now. Our scholars are performance. That is practice, right? So that practice will be encapsulated with the written work, which becomes praxis. And that is how my practice is research. Us, the players, will do it. That's the overall design they'll be using. The technique they'll be using is a trickster. Because the trickster enables that to happen. And how they enable that to happen is that the trickster is there to expose, enlighten on the oppressive cultures and oppressive systems that we see around us. Now, how we'll do that is that with our participants, we'll have performances. As a joker, I'll hold a performance. And how I'll collect the data is, see your facial expression, you're smiling, very nice. I'll look at another facial expression, look very serious. What does that mean? Are you engaged? Are you sad?
Are you asking?
No, I'm just saying. But that's a form of data collection, right? The facial expressions, the body language.
Yeah.
That's how it would happen. So, my friends, my scholars, my players, we're gonna gather, and this is how we'll conduct our research.
Elilizwe lelokoko bethu, elilizwe lelabantu abamnyama. Elilizwe lelokoko bethu, elilizwe lelabantu abamnyama. Elilizwe lelokoko bethu, elilizwe lelabantu abamnyama. Elilizwe lelokoko bethu. I grew up in a shack, in my mother's four-roomed shack. And there was 4 of us, brothers only. No one at home went to university. It was 2008 and I was the first one to go to university. That is when I started to realize that I'm different. I went to black schools in the townships in Khayelitsha. Primary school, high school, and then it was tertiary. It was my first time to sit next to white people. I was angry because I never had good English. They told me, yeah. When I was taught to prepare in isiXhosa, I only knew the word prepare, preparisha, when I went there. Awuthathile umhlaba wethu. Bayicuthile nengqondo yethu. Bawuthathile umhlaba wethu. Bayicuthile nengqondo yethu. Bawuthathile umhlaba wethu. Bayicuthile nengqondo yethu. Awuthathile umhlaba wethu. Bayikuthile nengqondo yethu. Yololo sisithi. Inguqu kwiqonga. We need to decolonize theatre norms. We need to decolonize theatre norms. Hence, right now, I am investigating the importance of alternative art spaces in the marginalized communities, which is a decolonial act that dismantles Western, Eurocentric, traditional theatre norms. But through what is something that I don't know, applied drama and theatre. They say it was coined in 1990, but I'm coming to that. They are lying. My background, yes, President. Sorry, I am preparing for my interview tomorrow. I want to become the Minister of Arts and Culture. Yes, President. Yes, President. Yes, I'm getting ready for that. Yes, President. The background of my... Yes, President. I believe, President, that we need to decolonize theatre norms. We need to build theatres in the townships. President, the ANC, right now, you have been governing for years. There are no theatres. Yes, Soweto Theatre was not built by the ANC. Yes, President. President, I'm one of the people who built theatres in the townships. I came with an idea of shack theatres. Yes, that's the background I'm talking about. Hence, I'm saying we need to decolonize. Okay, I'm not angry, President. I'm not angry at all, yes. President, another thing that we need to look at, it's English. Very colonial language. People in my community, they can't speak it well. Most of them, they are dropouts. Some of them did not even go to school. Yes, President, we need to decolonize English. It does not work. We need to do theater in our... President Ngugi wa Thiong'o is saying exactly that. We need to go back to our own Kikuis, our own Xhosas, Tswanas, and Zulus, and Sothos. If we want all people to come into our own spaces, President, then we must do it. Now our parents don't believe it, that it is something important. But once they come, when we are doing it in our own languages, President, they will understand where it comes from. Yes, President. President, there is something called Inguqu Yeqonga. Yes, the juxtaposed theatre. That's what I want to develop. Inguqu Yeqonga. The juxtaposed theatre. Yes, it has 4 practical elements into it, President. You know, there is something called an issue image. If you're looking at this right now, what do you see? You know, community theatre is about the people, with the people, for the people, and by the people. But the people who are sitting down there, they are not included in the performance. That's so Eurocentric, man. That's what you see at Market. That's what you see at Baxter. That's what you see at Artscape. We don't want to see that at TX38. Yes, President. You know, there is an issue image. Here, audience, they start to speak about what is happening on stage by just looking at it. Conversations in the audience auditorium. The performance is happening right there, not here. Then we're starting to develop something new, something different. Yes, there are actors. Those actors are becoming audience actors. They are in the auditorium. Yes, they are in the auditorium. Yes, President, in the auditorium with the audience. Audience doesn't know that they are actors. Yes, yes, I've seen those gaps. Those are the gaps that needs to be filled. Build spaces, cancel English, create our own practices and methodology. Yes, my what? The first thing when I'm entering, I will ask them different kind of questions. In what ways that applied drama and theatre can be used as an alternative approach to decolonize traditional Eurocentric theatre? Yes, especially our black township spaces. Sub-questions. I'm ready, President. In what ways can applied drama and theatre approach used creatively as a process to facilitate our pieces there? Who? Yes. Let me talk about this before I get there, my literature review. You know, for me, I'm inspired by black people. I love black people. There's a lady, a lecturer, yes, a senior lecturer from there in Nigeria. Listen what she says. What? The power of the audience to influence and impact the audience is often taken for granted and glossed over in theatre discourse. And that is true. You know what? We used to perform, Tina, when I was growing up, President. We used to perform everything, Sayamadize. And the audience, they would just come and join us without even being asked. And then some of them would throw money. President, this thing can be done. Trust me. I've started it. But I'm running away from them stealing it. That's why I'm writing about it. Yes. So, my theory. I've been a beautiful guy. You know Sabelo Fukatene, right? You know, he is speaking and writing about decoloniality. And he's very, very profound about that. He's talking about the future of Africa. Not only South Africa, but the entire Africa. Remember, when colonists, they came, they discovered the land and recovered, thought it is theirs. They had a dream before they even did that. Then they were committed to that dream, and then they took action and they took the land. So this is the process that we need to take now in order for us to take back the land. Definitely. No, I'm just there at Drama for Life. Drama for Life also is a very colonial space. Yeah, everything that they do is colonial. No, this thing, I will be doing it there at TX Theatre, yes, in Tembisa. I will be working with artists who are coming from Tembisa, and all of them, yes, I will engage them with games, with exercises, and also I will make sure whatever that comes, there is going to be a flexible questioning in order for me to see if they are understanding what decolonization is. Yes, yes, that's how I'm connecting my data. Yes, I will be using applied drama theatre. I said it from the beginning, you know. You know, there's a problem that I'm facing. There's a woman called Helen Nicholson. She's lying, President. We have been doing applied drama and theatre. It was not coined in the 1990s. We are talking. She's lying. We have been performing under the tree. We have been performing in schools. We have been performing in churches. This thing has been embedded in us. We've been doing it. But it's just that you know what people are good at writing. So they write everything and then they think it belongs to them. No! Hence I'm writing about my Czech theatre so that they don't steal it. Yes. What? It's not only spaces, yeah. Okay, President. Okay, the phone loudspeak. Sure. It is not only spaces that needs to be decolonized, but also colonial acts and mindsets that exists in theatre. We need to fight for theatre. When Janet Suzman said it out loud, that theatre was created by white people, she's lying. We've done that before. We told in Tony, around our grandmother, we were an audience member or audiences, and our grandmother was a performer. And remember what? Theatrical effects were already there. There was Inkuni, Esbasway, right in the middle. That was lighting. Yeah, very natural one. Tina, we are natural people. Hence I'm building theatre with zincs, corrugated iron sheets. You like it like that, and planks. Let's do this. Let's change theatre norms. Say.
Still, nothing is done. Nothing is done to change the education system, to change the money they're giving us. We must pay so that we get knowledge within ourselves. We must pay for our life of humanity, of decent education, like we are nothing on this earth. Who are we to them? Who are we to them? We struggle and struggle and struggle, and still nothing is heard. Absolutely nothing is heard within this place, within our space, our environment, our homes. Look, the electricity is shutting out now. What do they expect us to do? How do we survive? How do we survive this nonsense, this craziness, this earthquake that keeps on happening within us? Our humanity is gone. Yeah, Frida talks about it. He talks about decommunalizing and literally understanding what oppression is. Like he even knew what happened back then. It's still happening now. It still happens within our daily lives. When you go and buy bread out there, what happens? Huh? Do we have enough money to buy even a brown loaf of bread? Nothing. And we still have to pay for fees. Like, they giving us something when we want to better our lives. How this oppression must stop. And that is why I want to go into what ways can we change the system. And I think the best way to do it within this context is through forum theater. Do you guys know what forum theater is? No. So, back then, you know, we used to perform on stage. And the audience used to be there and listen and look and smile and walk out and be at this merry-go-round. Maybe not even talk about it. Here, this is what we are saying. We perform. We on stage. I get my people. Are you going to be part of my people?
Yes.
Yes. Are you going to be part of my people? Are you going to be part of my people?
Yes.
Guys, let's be part of my people. Let's make them. I've got pens. I've got paper. I've got all of it. There, take a piece. Write something that you feel oppressed about. Right? Write something that you want to talk about and you want to be a part of. Let's write these things down. Let's talk about it together as a community. Then, yeah, you see, no, not even shoes on my feet anymore. This is what we struggle with every day. I want you to write something down that you all feel important within the fees must fall. Are your students?
Yes.
And what do y'all feel that needs to be attacked and be aware of?
Housing.
Housing. What about housing?
No housing.
No housing.
Expensive.
Expensive.
Write that for me.
Yes.
Expensive accommodation.
Expensive accommodation. What do we have there? Economic freedom. Do y'all believe that we don't have any economic freedom?
Yeah, we do.
Nothing. Amandla.
Away to.
Amandla.
Away to.
Amandla.
Away to.
I see you, my sister. I see you. Come on. Now, my people, while we're getting age, I see all of you, all your body actions, all your facial expressions, all the looks on your faces. Let's take that in. Let's make a performance. Let's show them what it's like. And then when we go there and we show them, we bring the audience in it. We do it twice. We do our piece twice for them, so they understand what we're talking about. We don't give them an ending. We make them make the ending. Right? Are you good with that?
Yeah.
Are you good with that?
Yes.
So we get the audience to be on stage and see the social issues that we are speaking about right here. Right? We get them to make a change within themselves and within the communities, because that's what we do. And you know, Robert Nelson, he speaks about it lovely, my people. Oh, he says it's about the know-how. You have to know how to do, and it's in the doing of the practice that matters. It is in the practice, it's in the embodiment, it's in everything that y'all showed me here. We are going to use that, and we're going to create something together as part of a family, and we're going to take it out in the community. And my brothers and my sisters, we can do it. We can make them hear and make our voices heard and call for a free education system and call for equality and call for all these social changes that need to be changed now, not later, because that later will never come. It needs to happen now. Amandla!
Away to!
Amandla!
Away to!
Amandla!
No, away to!
Last
We've just been open fire with stun grenades, tear gas, totally unprovoked. We were just marching in students. forced
This is what
17
happened.
universities to close.
This is what
Wait,
happened
what just
now,
happened?
recently,
Let's break it
last
down.
year, and now in this year.
Even though apartheid ended in 1994, South Africa is still a highly unequal country where poverty follows racial lines. Imagine it's the 70s and the only few decent paying jobs for non-whites are teaching or nursing. And the majority, well, they're forced into unskilled menial labor. Fast forward to present day. Undereducated parents in minimum wage jobs can't afford university tuition for their kids. In the last decade, government funding for education has dropped by 9%, while student fees rose by 7%. Education inflation has outstripped economic inflation by 5.3%. The average income for white families is now 6 times greater than for black families. Last year, student protesters won a 0% fee hike. For poor students, the dream of democracy has failed to deliver on education. And they have staged the largest student movement seen since the famous student protests of 1976, when their parents' generation fought for quality education.
Yes, we will continue to make sure that we fight for free decolonized education now.
Wow. It is in the know-how, in the doing, you can get this thing.
I went Dizele now. I went Dizele. Ayungkendinje. 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 Dizelena, I went Dizele, Dizelena, I went Dizele. I don't know what to do. I don't have money. My father has left. I don't know how I'm going to take care of this child. I named her Kawagas because she's a girl. And I believe that she's special. I'm sick. I might be gone soon. I don't know who's going to take care of her. I don't have any siblings. I don't have any family. I'm just alone. I just lived with her. How are you guys? How are you guys? Kinali Chanyana! le matsetse. Ke na le ntjanyana. E na le matsetse. I am a girl. A girl that wants to make my mother proud. And I will do just that. I will make her proud. 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 My mother's gonna be proud. My mother's gonna be proud. 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 My mother's gonna be proud. I'm gonna make her proud. I'm gonna make my mother proud. I'm a girl. I'm a girl. And I'm gonna make my mother proud. A girl that's gonna make my mother proud. And I have nice things. And my mother is trying. She buys me all these shoes, clothes. I love her. I love my mother. I loved my mother. Now she's gone. Mina ndikhumbula mama, umama wandizalayo, owandibeletha, umama wandibeletha. Ndikhumbula mama, owandizalayo, owandibeletha. Mama wandibeletha. Uqala buthi, uqala buthi, uqala buthi, uqala. Ewe, I did say that. Yes, I am a man. Then why are you wearing skirts? Why are you wearing dresses? I know your answer. I am born like this. I am born like this because I am hiding. I am hiding from the community. They expect me to be the girl that I was born to be. But I don't believe I was born for that. I'm a man. I'm a male. They say God created me as a woman. Yes. I was born with a vagina. But I don't think it belongs to me. This body is not me. This body doesn't belong to me. This body doesn't belong to me. This body doesn't belong to me. This body doesn't belong. This body. Sexuality. Identity. Who am I? They wanna pick me up. They wanna kill me. Who am I? I'm scared to tell them. I'm scared. Now you're gonna give us your statement. You said they beat you up. They're gonna change you. You're gonna tell us the truth, right? Albert. Last week you gave us a statement. And now I'm gonna change things. I want you to read that statement to us. Tell us what's happening. Because we don't know who to believe now. Right? Remember, you're in court, in front of witnesses. They have to hear your voice. or else there's nothing we can do. Have a good one. Rasa theory and transgender. Raising awareness to the stigmas and emotions that transgender people go through. So help me God. I am here to give a statement of what happened to me last week when the community of Wallaston attacked me. My name is Kawe, a black transgender male. Transgender and gender non-conforming individuals worldwide are subjected to terrible levels of violence and discrimination, which offends basic human values. Transgender is a broad term used to describe individuals whose gender identity, gender expression, or behavior doesn't align with the gender typically associated with the assigned sex you were born with. On that note, Judith Butler says, the body is not stable foundation for gender expression. Now, my research design method will be performance as research. I will perform, my performance is PAR. I think performance will be legitimate in showing the emotions that transgenders go through. Your Honor, my research will be exploring transgender people's emotions and journey and the stigmas they face. I'm telling you, Your Honor, transgender people are prone to experiencing negative mental effects that are caused by the stigmas. I'm tired. I'm tired, Your Honor. Now, I am standing here saying I'm going to use Rasa and I'm going to use drama therapy to raise awareness. I'm here standing to pursue raising awareness. I'm going to use Rasa boxes. And you may ask me, what is that? Rasa boxes, the Rasa boxes demonstrate that an internal emotional process can be externalized, indicating that real emotions need not to be suppressed, but are both a physical and psychological experience. That's Scanner 2001. While in drama therapy, there is embodiment, narrow drama, role play, and identity. In role play and identity, that's Silverstone, 2008. And now, Your Honor, I am standing here telling you I have a quest. My quest is, in what ways can Rasa theory help and explore and execute these emotions that transgender people go through? Now, when I think about it, Your Honor, I want to ask, what are the emotions that transgender people go through? Now I am standing here as I'm about to go down, Your Honor. I want to say, for transgender individuals, their bodies may be perceived as containers that are unable to fully contain the sense of self. As a result, gender transition can be seen as the only viable means of escaping from a prison-like situation, where the sense of self is limited by an overwhelming sense of pleasure or fulfillment that cannot be fully expressed or contained within their current body. That's Dfl Vic, 2017. Your Honor, may justice be served. Thank you.
My name is Nobuna Magudlari. Okay, let's play, guys.
Yes.
You, the skipping rope, why is it so tight up? Is it because, yeah, yesterday I was playing with my other friends, so they kind of just left my skipping rope like this, guys. Forgive me. But if it doesn't like work out, it's okay.
But it's got to be like this.
Let's try it.
What is it, Tommy?
Oh, shit.
You're an adult now, that's why I broke.
Ooh. My neighbors, they brought it back without fixing it. Yo, these people. I can't believe I just did them with my things. The months of the year. 2000. Ah! January, February. Correct! July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, guys, okay. So are you here? Why is a grown adult playing? It's because we're here to investigate how does play awaken the inner child in adults, right? So, I am doing this because in the black community, as you see I'm black, I have witnessed that. Whoa! I witnessed that there isn't a lot of play that is happening around there. There isn't, and it isn't embraced as much. And it's just seen as silly, and people don't really like understand what play is in the black community. So, my plan is to figure out how does this work? And maybe this Ouija board can help me. Why? Okay, we need to sink into the energy, guys. Okay. So everyone just breathe in and out. All right. So to connect to the energies, we must just all close our eyes and think about the question I'm about to ask. And that question is, why are we here today? Why are we here today? Why? Oh my gosh. Okay, they say I must open the cards. Check the cards, check the cards. Okay. Well, the cards say that the notions that we hold around play have influenced the culture of how we play and what we define as playing. And it is said that, you know, play is believed to be like not real, not reality, and it's just playing. And I just wonder, is it ever really just playing? Like, is it ever really just playing? Who are you? When they ask you to like draw a picture of yourself, who do you draw? Is it you? Are you playing, or is it someone else? But either way, that is why I want to explore and find out how play is explored and expressed, more especially in the black community. I mean, my people would not consider this as play. Okay, they would actually, but it's only for children, not a grown woman with boobs. Okay, so, and then, so, how does play awaken the inner child?
It did now.
How is play understood in the Black African community? And how do play methods contribute to your imagination? Well, I guess we'll just have to think about that so long. Okay. Okay, so some of my aims is that I aim to host like around 5 workshops around play, and I'm gonna recruit participants using pamphlets. So I'm gonna also use research games that are gonna help me to see how games awaken the inner child. And also I will do that through desktop research, peer review, supervisor guidance, and some preserved theory. How? Did I miss it? Okay. Another plan of the aims and objectives is to create and refer to play methods for awakening the inner child, and I will use this through theory and interactions that will assist me for that. And then also I will assess how play works with adults, and this will be explored and observed through workshops. Oh. Okay, so last aim is to collect data through observation and recordings, and I will do this by observing in person and also looking at the data that I collected through the video recordings. Okay. So this dinner table is our tea party. Anyone who wants to join can come through. Don't forget to use the coasters so that we can drink some tea while we talk about who's gonna help us do this research, right? Okay, so some of the main theories that I'll be using is Vygotsky, who speaks about how we learn through social cultural learning, and I'm using him because in as much as my research is not to like teach people or learn about social cultural learning, it is something that may happen through the play for people to learn about each other and each other's culture during the time that it happens. And he also speaks on imaginative play and how it also contributes to awakening the inner child. And then we also speak on Winnicott, who speaks about the psychology of play, and he speaks about playing and reality and how we can assess between the two things and how it takes place. So Winnicott will assist in that. And also Young, who explores the inner child, and I just want to read a quote from him which says, the inner child is readily available in one's body and speaks more readily in the language of feelings, which includes the body, movement, play, and the arts. So, because also I'm exploring play in Africa and there hasn't been much research and literature on it, I'm also hoping to contribute towards literature of play in Africa in Black communities. But there has been writings on Black Americans, and the reason that I don't want to make it some of my main is because Black American culture is different with regards to Black African culture. However, Trammell does write that in dispute of Freud, who says that play is wish fulfillment and has to always be positive, he says that play is not necessarily that way because Black people sometimes play around slavery and sometimes play around songs that they used to sing in slavery and things that were created during that time. So it's not necessarily always pleasurable, however, it does happen. So that is what I'm planning to explore and see how it works. So, guys, you know what? So, Nelson says that practice as research is learning through doing. So since my skipping rope was broken, I learned through doing and fixing, and it's coming back again. And so now I'll be using practice as research for my research that I will be carrying out, and then participatory action will take place to help me gain some knowledge in my research. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, I'm done.
Wow. Just listening to the song alone is like listening to a story. Wow. Amazing. That song is just amazing. Oh, it's like, you know, that's something that I would love to do. You know, I've listened to the radio since I was in my teens. And whenever I listen to the radio, I often think to myself, what do these people look like? What are their stories? Where are they going in life? And then I realized what they look like and what they sound like are two totally different things. I mean, I had no idea that Jeremy Mansfield was so big. He doesn't sound big, did he? Really? So, one of my other loves is drama. I've been doing drama since I was 8. 8, can you believe it? But then I thought to myself, why? Why can't I combine the two? And then it occurred to me, there is such a thing as radio drama. Really? I've heard of songs on the radio, like Donna Summers. I've heard of articles and interviews on the radio, but not radio dramas. And then I came to Wits. I mean, and I heard that they are doing actual programs on the radio. I mean, really? I'm just a matric student. I don't even know where my life is going. Do you have any idea where your life is going? No, no, really. Honestly. I mean, we got a visitor from Wits, and she says that I've been chosen to be on their radio program. I mean, I really don't know how to. I'm so scared. But then she explained to me that she was going to use image theatre, which is from Auguste Boal. And I thought to myself, what the hell is image theatre? And she was explaining to me that image theatre is a way for people to express themselves without giving away too much, but they're telling their stories in a non-verbal way. Does that actually make sense? I mean, does anyone have any questions for me? I just need to know how this works, really. Yes?
Do you like yourself?
Ah! I hate that question. Yes.
What do you want people to know about you and other physically challenged adults?
Okay, now I'm getting an idea of what image theatre is because I can feel my body tensing up. I'm sorry, could you repeat the question again?
What do you want people to know about you and other physically challenged adults?
Oh! Basically that we are just like any other human being.
Yes, we have a physical challenge. I mean, you can see I'm walking with a cane, can't you? Can you see that I'm walking with a cane? But I'm not even the worst. You know that we've got people in wheelchairs. You do know that. And there are people who use crutches to walk. Oh, goodness. I mean, really, the challenges we face. But no one hears our voices. No one. No one wants to know what's happening in our lives. But then, this lady from Wits, she says, no, she's coming to interview me. Me! And, I mean, I don't want to be interviewed because it's an invasion of my privacy. You don't understand privacy. Ask me that question again, please.
Poppy up. What do you want other people to know about you and other physically challenged adults?
And then she explained to us, yes, after asking these questions, we have to form an image. How do we feel about ourselves? What do we want people to know? Well, so she's going to ask us questions like that. We have to form a still image. And then she's going to collect data. I don't even know what data is, but anyway, apparently it's information using our body and facial expressions. Yes? And then she's going to use that data to create a radio drama. But that means that my voice will be on radio. I mean, okay, I don't mind being on radio. I mean, but, you know, I'm still a school student. What about safety issues? Really? This worries me. Any other questions? Yes.
I don't know. Are you scared about coping physically in the real world?
Oh, yes, because I don't know what the world is like out there. I mean, I have been in a special school all my life. Okay, so now I am leaving the trick and I'm going into the real world. Well, the real world isn't very physically handicap friendly. But then I think there ought to be some changes, don't you think? You think that there should be changes, right? So, but then she also said to me that she wouldn't be using me as part of the radio drama, and I thought, what are you talking about? And apparently she's using an actress called Sibongile Bebe as my voice. Who knows who Sibongile Bebe is? I have no idea who that is. But apparently she's in this room. Is this you?
No, it's not me, somebody else.
Oh, goodness. Well, if you ever see her, please tell her she better do a very good job. Is that clear?
Yes.
She better do a very good job.
Yes.
So apparently, this Sibongile Bebe, apparently she's a bebe, is going to be using her ideas as mine, or using my ideas as hers, forgive me. And then they're going to use my images and my frail body to create a drama, a radio drama? Oh my. Oh my. So that means that my stories will be told, right? Mm-hmm. Oh my. So really, how do you think I should answer the questions? How do you think I should answer the questions?
Honestly.
Truthfully. So, how do I feel about my future? Right. I am scared about my future. Right. I don't know what's going to be happening. But at the same time, I'm hopeful that when I get out of high school, wherever I go, because I plan to be a world famous actress. I mean, imagine seeing me in 20 years' time on the stage receiving my Oscar and to be just like Charlize Theron. Oh! It's such an honor! I just came from a farm in South Africa. Oh, I can't believe this is happening to me. And I'm the first disabled actress to win an Oscar. Isn't that wonderful? So, what I am planning to do with radio drama is to let other people's voices be heard without exposing what they look like. Because you never know who's going to be nervous or excited being on that radio. I mean, it might even be tricky to interview them, but hopefully, once they have their voices heard, the world will be a better place. And they will be better people because of it. Thank you.